video
Got a guy trying to run it in for the score, and he's going nowhere.
Souza played Tony like a fool, using Tony's impulsiveness to broker a deal that works in his favor and allows him to have a legitimate beef with Frank down the line when Lopez is unable to deliver. He's taken out Frank royalties, put a loose cannon into the broker position, and within just a single meeting, Frank is now in a jeopardizing position. Souza was a snake, and Frank was right to be careful about it. He himself is just a low-level distributor. Souza is an overseas kingpin who would have a nation's resource, military and police at his disposal, unlike the drug empires in the States who have to survive on their own. All Tony was supposed to do was watch over his back. And he's come back to Miami all proud of himself that he's made such a great deal bringing in all this Jaeger, but is unable to see the forest for the trees, that he's a pawn in a much larger game. Frank's advice and wisdom throughout the film was solid. Everything he said pretty much came true. And going back to the initial confrontation between him and Tony, Tony's attitude here could should easily, some would argue, get him killed. Putting aside that he came back with one less homer and an unsanctioned deal that puts Frank in a weaker position, putting aside that Tony revealed he was making moves on the street on his own, something Frank takes note of. Moves on your own. Tony launches into his monologue about expanding and thinking big. Frank tries to open Tony's eyes here one last time that he was going down a dangerous path, that his hubris was going to come back to bite him. But he couldn't get through to Tony. The man is simply a loose cannon. Frank repeating, "I am the boss." Reminds me of a line from Tywin Lannister, Game of Thrones, when he says, "Any man who must say I am the king is no true king." Because Frank can see here that Tony no longer sees himself as a subordinate to Frank. Him retorting, "You finished? Can I go now?" is a level of insubordination unacceptable for an employee of any company, let alone a criminal drug empire. The next time Tony and Frank are on screen together is their confrontation in the club, where Tony, after having the cop meld with the squeeze on him, Frank's orders, presumably, is now with Frank's woman, publicly humiliating Frank in front of Elvira and some goons, and whoever else in the club is watching.
Let's go Colts.
Frank has every right to take out Tony after the scene. The man is saying he has no balls in front of his woman as he flirts with her. Tony's already made a poor business decision, and now he's brazenly insulting Frank. It's a wonder Frank didn't have one of his goons shoot Tony right there and then. In fact, something I've actually wondered is whether Frank had already okayed Tony's death by this point, recognizing that he was a danger in the previous meeting and would eventually try to take his place. Perhaps the only reason Frank came to the club was to get Elvira out of there before it all went down. Although a hole in this theory, why then did he suddenly get the cop beforehand to mess with him? Anyway, Tony was actually very lucky Frank was as soft and forgiving as he was. Take the scene when Elvira offers Tony a dance early on in the film. A less secure mobster, Tommy from Goodfellas maybe, might be so enraged he might have had Tony killed for this.
Is RDA Sports, and we are in Silicon Valley at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara.
So why not let his wife go? Well, how about later on when Tony forcibly kisses Elvira? Or even what he says to her when they first dance, or any number of things he does or says to her throughout the film. If she wasn't so zoned out all the time, she might have gone to Frank telling him that the hell has been touching her. And what are you going to do about it? Unless you lost that on too. It would be connected.
The kicker Jake Moody's got it teed up. And we are underway now from Santa Clara. Anthony Gold now to return.
You need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when it can be
And a big hit there on the opening kickoff, and that might set the tone to what could be a physical game.
When you're on the road, the last thing you want to do is make a mistake that brings the crowd into it. Now you're not just battling your opponent, you're battling yourself as well.
Granger, click Granger.com or just stop by. Granger for the ones who get it done.
So Montana is out of control, and Frank tries to have him back. Yes, it wasn't the best attempt in the world, and it was an underhanded assassination attempt. But this is the other one, and it's already been established that Frank doesn't have the best muscle. Otherwise, he would never hire Tony in the first place. Tony won the lottery by beating Frank. He was a dishwasher, and And only additional show because Frank pulled a few strings in the first place. He was speed run to his high position.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Frank with his final scene, implying Frank gave him some clothes for the meeting. Once Frank
second down and a yard.
He gets some short of success, but through a multitude of mistakes, something I want to tackle in another video, Tony Montana's
now Richardson is going to shift things up.
He needed no help from Frank getting killed. In fact, had he listened to Frank's...
Here's Richardson looking to throw on second down. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a second and 8.
One would have to win if the two came to blows. It ended up being the one with the stronger personality. What do you make of Tony and Frank's relationship?
Not liking the look. They'll change the play.
Was Tony loyal to Frank? And Lopez was a coward.
There, Richardson back to throw it.
Was Tony a loose cannon and has no respect for anyone?
And that'll be incomplete. Pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
On third down, here's Richardson. And that will be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
It appears they'll go for it here on fourth down. A big call on the game's opening drive. Downs going in motion left. Going for it on fourth, Richardson. Oh, now a strap. He loses the football. And this is going to be recovered by a member of the offense, but whistles come in. Remember, on fourth down, that becomes a dead ball if anyone other than the fumbler himself recovers. So it'll come back to the spot of the fumble, and that will mean that's going to wind up being a turnover on downs. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And Juju Brents comes up for the stop.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Purdy. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Colts are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down. And
big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
2nd down, here's Richardson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And they'll run. This is Trey Sermon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That whole thing was thrown off track thanks to the defense of Fred Warner. Really nice play. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Off play action, Richardson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Now it's Richardson. Escaping the pressure right. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Josh Downs, 70 yards. And the Colts post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
Touchdown, first down, touchdown.
Right, the first quarter almost felt like a feeling out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they ramped things up just a little bit to start the second quarter.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Purdy's throw pulled in by Kittle. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Now 3rd down and 7. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll go for it. Here's Purdy. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Richardson on the bootleg here. They'll get that one to Taylor complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Taylor is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They'll look to run with Taylor. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback...
Touchdown, Colts! Adonai Mitchell from a yard out. And the Colts will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Second and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 18 yards, first down Niners.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On first down, it's Purdy. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
On first down, Purdy. Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on trots the field goal unit. This is going to be a challenge here. And this one is right down the middle. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
A final shot before the half. Richardson. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Isaac Yianum in there to pick it. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback.
Let's go, Colts.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the...
There he goes, left side. George Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers.
They switched me to the dude furthest away from the ball.
That
is crazy.
Come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation.
Put your hands up.
Knowing when it exists to go to it.
That was such a short throw. That was an easy pick. Look at that pick.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense.
And I fall over. Press and try.
Just a few plays, give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Richardson out of the shotgun. Forced out to his left. Richardson hit and he fumbles.
You're kidding me. I'm jamming on square. I am jamming on square, and you're telling me I can't slide, man.
Well, the touchdown offense got him back into it, and now the defense turns right around and forces the turnover.
And you and I both know if you're going to come from as far down as they have to, it's going to take both sides of the ball, maybe even the special teams, to get involved. And so far, they've done exactly that. Offense scores, defense does its job. They're making their move.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively, and second down.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
On 3rd down, it's Purdy. Dancing to his left. That is caught. And inside.
You're kidding me, in triple coverage. There was 90 people on him, man. You're crazy. I was paused right there looking at it.
They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. He's got Ayuk once again. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
And just flip on you.
Moody good with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game.
That's crazy, man. Crazy. Mad work.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Richardson going to change the play here. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go play action with Richardson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
These are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. And that one going to come up short, low throw.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Calling a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the drive will wind up yielding plays. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2nd down and 3. From the shotgun, Richardson. Oh, he's intercepted again. It's Richardson's 3rd of the game. Picked up by Deontay Lenore. return it to the 24-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Out of the gun, Purdy. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Purdy looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown!
Let's move on to the next game, baby. Move on to the next game.
The NFL is on EA Sports, and we're in Silicon Valley at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Here's the former Utah Ute Matt Gay to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Shotgun now with Purdy.
Why are you so? I'm pressing triangle. I'm not pressing circle.
Takes it across the 40-yard line. Here it goes, a first down for San Francisco.
Oh my goodness, what is going on?
Well, certainly as a fan, you get.
I am pressing triangle. I am not pressing circle.
But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Purdy's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he'll be taken down.
That is crazy.
Into enemy territory. Right back to him for 10 more and a first. Purdy will set up to throw it here. He'll buy some time right. Boy, took a real chance with that one, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now a 2nd and 10. Purdy from the gun. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Buying time to his left. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 28. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he will launch yardage here to the 31-yard line. A nice effort and an even nicer stop for great pay.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Purdy.
Turn around, nigga, what are you doing?
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the
that
5
sucks.
way to the 3. That's good for 28 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Here's Purdy. They'll roll him out right. He's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line around the 1-yard line. All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Flush to his right. And he's going
They're just looking at him. They're just looking like, what are we doing? Why aren't you following the quarterback?
And the Niners get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
That is dumb.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner.
Just literally wanted me to lose.
Nothing there.
There's no way you playing football and you got eyes on the quarterback because you're in coverage and you're not moving with the quarterback.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. First and 10, it's Richardson. Complete, this is Mitchell.
Good job.
He's to the 15.
One hitter quitter.
Touchdown, Indianapolis.
One hitter quitter.
75 yards. And the Colts are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Matt Gay on for the extra point.
Hit him with the Jody Joe.
It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7.
One hitter quitter. One hitter quitter.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
They'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
McCaffrey.
49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. Steps away to his left.
Nope.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side.
What?
And he's going to be out of...
You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
Right at midfield. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. Once more, Purdy looking to throw. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Purdy. Rolling to his right. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 32-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Through the middle of the field, touchdown, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, 39 yards. And the 49ers have now taken the lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Moody good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well. And they free kick it from the 20 now.
And penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Commanders Field, located in our nation's capital, here in Landover, Maryland. Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Throwing right away is Daniels.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Robinson. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson.
Calling a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Daniels looking to throw.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. Daniels going to throw for it. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be taken down, but he does.
Yeah, right.
4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
And that's going to be incomplete.
And I bet that play actually
It's second down. Robinson on a give right side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Daniels rolling to his left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete.
How does he? You are kidding me!
Good for 28.
That's crazy.
They think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Off the play fake, Daniels. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up and they can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. To throw is Daniels. Sliding out of the pocket. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter. And they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Seibert now to kick this thing away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Richardson to the air on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Second and 5. Richardson on the bootleg here. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
He'll buy some time right. And he's got Pierce. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
On the handoff, Taylor. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it second down. They run once more with Taylor. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Quick throw completed by Richardson. And the Colts are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown machine. He's going to get plenty of looks down here near the goal line. So if I'm on defense, I might start getting prepared to see his number called a couple of more times.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Again, it'll be Taylor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, as the first half is winding down. And the Colts have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Matt Gay on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2.
Football.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation. If they just...
Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked up by Julian Blackmon.
He'd been having a good day so far, but I think he got a little overzealous on that one. Still young in this league. Has to learn to try not to do too much on an individual play because, as we all know, sometimes less is more. And throwing away is preferable to making the big mistake.
Richardson now. A final shot before break. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece. 7-7 our score. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, the first half very even. I mean, really in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Richardson to throw off play action. They'll roll him out right. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Richardson working from the gun. Being chased out left. Open man down the field. This is Mitchell. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Flush to his right. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Anthony Richardson scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Colts have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
That was crazy. I had nothing but daylight.
Gay is on for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Play action, now it's Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action. Daniels rolling to his right. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. The throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Daniels. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Commanders are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Did not get close enough.
Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think. And oh, it's blocked. The Colts have it. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points. That is a play that you just do not see very often. Maybe a couple times a year. The blocked extra point return for 2.
You can't afford to give anyone a free run at the kicker. Oftentimes it's going to bounce off his hands or chest and head the other direction.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out in this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Richardson going to move him around. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Richardson under pressure, and down he goes. Lance Armstrong just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event,
now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Commanders are right back in this football game.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. To the air goes Daniels. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 27-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. A First down throw for Daniels.
Take it off.
Knocked away. It's incomplete.
Nice progress.
Take it
down the field was
off.
halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. Oh, no, he lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The pocket.
We'll call it a game. It's over with, baby.
Around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. On the move past the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. 1st and 10, Richardson looks to throw it. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
I just love how they're going about trying to finish off this game. This is not an offense that's going to go into its shell. They're going to keep exploiting weaknesses where they see them. And that's a huge pickup there with the game in the balance.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And Richardson looks to throw once more. Eluding the pressure right. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. They'll wind up losing 3 yards there on the play as that'll lead to a 2nd and goal. Now it's Richardson. Forced out to his left. And it's caught. Touchdown, Colts. Jonathan Taylor. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Colts get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Play clock down to 0. And this is not the way to start a drive. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Penalties not what they needed here. 1st and 15. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Here's 2nd down and 3. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Zach Ertz has it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Kenny Moore. He's to the 15. And he will bring it back. An interception.
Chuck the deuces. Go Colts. Okay, this is gonna be my last game. Then we gotta go to GTA.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. The inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. In the middle of a cold night in 1984, but the Colts are back, and we're underway in Baltimore. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And a less than desirable return as he's out of bounds at the 15-yard line. first carry for Derrick Henry. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And
not that 5 yards.
Most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Henry again on second down. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
The defense isn't going to adjust, and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7 yard
What's up with them playing GTA? A lot sooner.
To the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available
and
save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 35, here's second down and a yard. Jackson, options out left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to have a
He fell forward 19 yards. King Henry.
Because that's who you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game. It will continue after picking up another first there.
Did you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Now it's Jackson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
The partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Work in the middle of the field. Man complete. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts 36. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. And this play will be blown up. Yardage back at the 38. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Jackson will throw again. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when a screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after one on EA Sports. From the 8, they've got it first and goal. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up.
That's good hard running right there on first and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Henry again. And he'll take it in the end zone for the Ravens touchdown.
What are you going to do? Goal line.
Henry.
Got everybody up on the line. You got a regular offense.
Ravens post the first points of the ball game.
You don't even have me go for goal.
Second quarter.
And you can forgive this defense just a bit here. They know how dangerous Lamar Jackson is running
crazy.
the football. Stopping him is in many ways a prime concern. So here, they're late to react to the handoff on the option, and it costs them as this winds up a touchdown.
The tight end in motion right. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw.
I was right there.
And he will get
I was in the passing lane.
nothing. And what a way to cap off the opening touchdown drive. You go for 2 and you get it.
Remember when the PAT or the extra point was a gimme, right? Not plus 99%. It's not that way anymore, so more people are willing to take a chance, go for 2, and take the kicker a little bit out of the game.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10, it's Richardson. That's complete to his rookie second-round pick. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Now Richardson. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Off play action. Richardson. Complete. This is Mitchell. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another. That's going to set up first and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Taylor will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
8-0 our score with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now Richardson going to shift things up. Richardson to throw on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Jackson now. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to gallop the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. With a start here to the ball game, you get the good kick return, followed by a quick 1st down through the air. If this defense isn't careful, they might be looking at a deficit before they know what hit them.
On 1st down, Richardson. This one completes Alec Pierce. And he will step out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Second and goal from the 6 this time. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. Touchdown! Adonai Mitchell from 6 yards away. And the Colts get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And it's up and good, so maybe a bit early here to try to match the two. They're content to trail by 1 at 8-7. after the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 1-point lead, you'd have to think they'll be looking just to get this to halftime. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. This time they stay on the ground. Bulldozes past him, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. They're looking deep here for Flowers. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the 3rd quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Sliding out of the pocket. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
On 3rd down, here's Richardson. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley Cox. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Now, how about this? They'll change it at the line. Richardson on 4th down. That is caught. He's into space past the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Adonai Mitchell, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it. on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And it's up and good to make this now a 14-8 ball game. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone.
That's how you play, baby.
Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, 24 yards.
What's up? What's up?
The Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, they
want to
did a
say, Kel, what's up, Five?
keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Gay is on for the point after. He knocks it through, and he extends the lead to 21-8. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20.
Costly.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play.
Roughing the pass.
The head coach handling it, the offensive coordinator. Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Throwing is Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Jackson. Looking deep here for Flowers. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Colts are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions.
Let's get on to that GTA, baby. You feel me? Time for the grown man money grind. Grown man money grind on GTA. Yeah. Uh, 513 out here, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Bag wavy.